Today, I'm delighted to be speaking with a trailblazer in the FMCG world. Jess Vega, marketing manager at Natural Balance Foods. Having worked at global brands such as Mondelez, Nestle and Ferrero, Jess noticed a shift towards online ROI-focused marketing during COVID, and so wanted to try and rebalance the brand funnel, refocusing on brand building to drive growth. She set out to do this in a groundbreaking and creative way. Jess is joined by Andrew Mullins, Creative Solutions Director at JCDecaux UK, here to give insight into how innovative and creative ideas can be applied to your brand to fuel growth. Jess, Andrew, thanks very much for coming in. It really is much appreciated. I mean, maybe you could just start off here, as we normally do with this sort of thing. Just tell us a bit about yourselves. You know, Jess, obviously how you sort of came to be at Natural Balance Foods. Yeah, Andrew, in terms of your background as well. So whoever wants to start first, maybe Jess.
Yeah, of course. I came to the UK over 9 years ago, and my background is essentially in brand marketing. I've been very fortunate to work on great brands. I've worked on Cadbury's, Ferrero. I also worked on Nestle when I was in France. So like mostly FMCG led background. I also have a little bit of background in wine because it's my number one passion in life.
I have a lot of experience in wine.
I actually have degrees.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent. You should definitely have a talk later then.
Absolutely. But yes, no, I did. I was also fortunate to work in that industry too. But I did come to work in Natural Balance Foods actually during my maternity leave. I was approached for this amazing position and really had the opportunity to work on Naked, which is a brand that I'm a massive fan of. I knew of them, but I hadn't necessarily gotten to try them before being pregnant. And then when I became pregnant, it was very important for me to have a super healthy snack. So I became obsessed, really, like making sure that everything I ate was really healthy and good for me and my baby, obviously. And so I went to store and was really looking for a healthy snack. And this is a true story, not just because I'm the marketing manager on the brand, but this is true. I literally went to store and I was like, what can I have that is not going to spill in my bag, that I'm not going to forget about and, find rotten 3 days later, and that is actually going to be healthy. And I really couldn't find, it wasn't necessarily easy. I had to look at all the back of pack. And then I found Naked and I heard of them. And I didn't realize just how healthy they are. And it's just fruit and nuts. I was like, this is amazing. Like, how did I not eat them my whole life? Where were they? So I've been a massive fan. So it was a bit of a match made in heaven when they approached me. Of course, took the opportunity immediately. And I'm extremely proud to be working on this brand.
Oh, fantastic. That's a great story. That's absolutely superb. And I think it's a testament also as well to the brand.
Yeah.
Just in terms of you on that journey, obviously very important stage of your life. And as you say, you found something that you thought completely fitted in with your needs. And Andrew, how about sort of from your standpoint in terms of at JCDecaux?
So I can't follow that up. I mean, that is a great story. I'm Andrew Mullins and I'm the Creative Solutions Director at JCDecaux. I joined the company about just over 8 years ago. Previously worked at ITV for 8 years. So experience in TV, VOD, all of that before it kicked off. And then, joined the Creative Solutions team. And our team is responsible for all the fun, creative, special builds, elements in out of home. Get to work with some great brands, including Naked. I've worked on some really fun, creative campaigns over the years.
Great experience for both of you, even if so varied. I just want to go, Jess, for Natural Balance Foods. Just in terms of when you came in and when you looked at the marketing strategy, and what for you were the key priorities?
Yes, of course. So Naked was in a place where after COVID, was still trying to reposition itself. And that was the key challenge for us, really making sure that the nation either falls back in love with the brand or falls in love with the brand if they didn't know it, or if they had maybe a vague idea of it, a bit like I did, but maybe didn't have it as top of mind as the key choice when they look for a healthy snack. So it was really bringing it to the forefront for them and making sure that if they want something healthy but also really delicious, they can think about Naked and as number one choice in their mind. So we really work to bring the brand back out there. We had to, of course, set the fundamentals right, so making sure that we had the right pack available in the right channels for the consumers to have really a product that would suit their needs in all the touch points. And then the second part was to bring some excitement with some new products. So we entered the added benefits sector with protein. And it was building on that effortless health that I mentioned earlier. So having that healthy help or that healthy kick that you can have throughout the day. And then the third part was, of course, communication. So bringing to life our personality, leveraging our USP. We are the only scalable brand, I would say, that is just fruit and nuts. So we wanted to bring that USP to life. We wanted people to truly trust us to be able to deliver that delicious taste experience whilst helping them remain healthy. So we repositioned the brand and our challenge was really how do we bring that USP to life in a fun, tongue-in-cheek way. So we are Naked. We're lucky to have a fun brand name to play with. It's called Naked because it's just fruit and nuts. So how do we bring that to life in a fun way? From being only online through the COVID years, we actually took it back out of home for the first time since 2019. And we had a campaign with very classic out of home touch points, such as 6 sheets, 48 sheets. But we also had high impact ones. Those truly generated conversations and fame for the brand. And they were the ones that got really heavily amplified organically, actually, through social media because people found it fun. So our key tagline was "Don't look, I'm naked." And it's very simple, just like us. Like some of our products only have 2 ingredients in them. So it's very simple, but conveys the point. Fruit and nuts. The second tagline was "The Naked Truth." And again, 100% natural ingredients, no added sugar, 1 of your 5 a day. This is our Naked Truth for our blueberry muffin bar, for example, which was the hero. So all of this contributed to really bringing the brand back on top of mind for people, driving trial as well. So we saw that where we had out of home, we were able to generate footfall in store, even more so that where we didn't have out of home. So there was a true uplift from bringing the brand back out there as well in performance.
And it's very notable, multiple times during that conversation, the brand, the importance of the brand. This is something that other FMCG companies have talked about when they're talking about the results. So, and being able to push through price increases and get consumers to buy is just that the strength of the brand has been critical in order for their ability to do that. And it sounds as though from what you're saying, sort of you found that the case as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it has been a very challenging time. We've had COVID and then we have had the cost of living crisis. And it's very important for us to be able to provide something that is still affordable for people.
People obviously have taken that message on board. Andrew, it's something we all discussed before we actually came in, just in terms of the concept of 2 + 2 = 5. So that, and this was a campaign where that sort of methodology came out. Can you just sort of explain a little bit more about what that is, sort of the framework from it, and how it really sort of helps when it comes to campaigns?
Yeah, sure. So, Jess has spoken a lot about advertising online first, and then moving into the outdoor and out-of-home space. Essentially, the concept was to prove the effectiveness of running online ads with out-of-home copy as well. There's a lot of symmetry with the formats. A lot of out-of-home estate is in portrait, as is online. That study was to prove that essentially if consumers see an ad on out-of-home and online, then it provides a significant uplift in many areas for the brand.
I want to come to your campaign in because obviously it's gained a lot of attention. It's been talked about a lot, sort of mentioned, sort of has been very, very successful. So could you just talk about your current ad campaign, how you started off? I think a couple of points we touched on anyway, sort of before, and then your plans for 2024 and how you see things developing from that.
2024 is going to be a very important year for us at Naked. It's fair to say that 2023 was very much a turning point for us with the brand being back out of home, as we mentioned, and also really shouting about our new identity and our USP. And for us in 2024, it was very much about almost following that, if that makes sense. Because the campaigns that we've run in 2023 have been very successful with clear impact on our performance as well. It's not just down to the campaign, it never really is. It would be unfair to say that it just is the campaign. We have a fantastic sales execution in store, brilliant point of sale, and all of that contributed to the growth. So did our amazing new products as well. But it's no coincidence that we had such good performances around the moment when we had a campaign burst as well. So we took the learnings from that. And one of the things that was very important were the fame piece, those big activations that really generate conversations. It's always very important, as JCD would say, nothing beats a 6-sheet. But it is very important to build those structures in a moment where there is less clutter than on the phone, for example. But the fame is very important, grabbing that attention, grabbing that curiosity with a strong creative, but also a media or an outlet that is going to drive that curiosity and that talkability for the brand. We took that on board for our 2024 campaign, and we decided to take on the largest screen in Europe at the time. Which was the Waterloo Station screen. And not only did we do that, but we also had the first ever anamorphic on it.
You'll have to tell us about that in a...
So that was the core centerpiece. So we still had all of the other touch points for this campaign. It's a very strong campaign. We have podcasts sponsoring and pre-reads, and we have, of course, out-of-home 6 sheets in Westfield malls, for example, where we've evolved our creative a little bit and brought it into a 3D world so that it really breaks the screen. In fact, one of the core things for us in this campaign was that we're naked, and this is January. January is a time where people not only come out of the Christmas, cheer, and also the Christmas dinners. But it's also like, it can be a bit of a downtime. Some people might feel a little bit nostalgic about the festive Christmas. A lot of people talk about Blue Monday as being a depressing day. And we wanted to break that a little bit and bring a smile on people's face, whilst also owning a healthier January. All of our bars are vegan, they're also gluten-free, and we wanted to convey that, okay, we're here with you. Like, you you still want that little chocolate fix, or you still want something that tastes nice. I mean, I don't have anything against celery sticks or carrot sticks, but they're
good in their own way.
Something that is maybe a bit more convenient to have on the go. So we really want to be on the forefront, help them have that healthier January, but also bring a smile on people's face, support them through that month that can be a bit gloomy sometimes, and break that. So breaking the January blues. And that's why we kicked off the campaign on the 15th of Jan on Blue Monday with literally our bar. I don't know if you've seen the campaign, but our bar literally breaks the screen. It says January Blues, bar comes out, and then encourages people to grab life by the blue breeze, which is one of our taglines. Bringing to life our tone of voice in a tongue-in-cheek way, and hopefully being fun whilst conveying that we are a healthy way to start the year.
No, it's great. It's an absolutely fantastic campaign. And I think, Andrew, you've got some stats on how well it's done.
Yeah, so breaking news for you, Jess. So, we managed to get hold of some of this information for the purpose of this, and we'll talk about the wider research, but some great initial response to the campaign and the anamorphic creative on Waterloo Motion, as well as the sort of 3D at scale ads you've been doing on D6 screens. So unprompted awareness of Naked actually rose from 14% to 39%, which is a incredible 179% increase.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, numbers we haven't seen before. And your net promoter score grew by 40.8 points as well. So an 87% increase in promoters, those all important brand promoters, and more importantly, a 52% decrease in detractors. as well. So some really great numbers there, and many positive sentiments around the brand as well. So, people that saw the anamorphic and 3D creative thought you were fun, tasty, quality, innovative, and a trustworthy brand as well. So a really great early success story for running this type of activity and content across out-of-home and digital screens.
That's brilliant.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
really excited. Yeah.
That's a great performance. I mean, and again, we touched on this before. I mean, sort of from your standpoint, Andrew, in terms of creative, just the importance of creative. And you talked about how companies are now talking about of how they can see the effect of creative in sort of their financial results, and there's a direct link in there. And obviously, we mentioned that before as well. Do you think that's a message that is now starting to sort of percolate through, as it were?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've as a company, JCDecaux, we've put in a lot of work to this recently in terms of effective out-of-home creative. Yeah. We've created the 9 steps to creating the perfect digital poster, for example. Brands are investing significant amounts in this space, and it's about making sure that is done right and it's done properly. Even basic things to consider. The general public will read in a linear fashion from top to bottom. Yeah. Just simple things like that. Prominent brand, prominent images, logos, call to actions. And it's certainly a conversation that has definitely picked up in the out-of-home sphere in recent years. We've talked a bit about priming and seeing ads online and in out-of-home as well, and the effect that has, and being able to sort of adapt copy and to create that sort of recall and consistency across, which is very important for brands, obviously. It's about using out-of-home to be braver and bolder as well, and that's certainly something that we've done with Jess recently. Anamorphic and 3D creative is the hot trend in out-of-home right now. Anytime you go onto LinkedIn, for example, you're likely to see a 3D ad. Yeah. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we're thinking about the audience as well, and the people in the station in Westfield, where you ran as well, is about making sure that you're getting that impact live and from the passenger and the audience as well. So 3D creative is definitely the big trend, and these screens have the capability. Any screen has the capability to run this type of clever creative content. Web AR technology is very simple now. Scanning a QR code on a creative, for example, launching that Web AR experience. There's no barrier to entry in terms of having to download an app. It's all run online from a web browser these days. So it's about, to make sure you're capturing that audience, that creative audience on the street, in the rail environment, in the airport, in the malls. And also we've, as a creative solutions director, we've seen special builds come back in a big way. 2D cutouts on billboards to have brands or products breaking out of it. Rail station dominations. We've seen a massive uplift in that, getting back to sort of pre-COVID levels of campaigns, getting that brand message across is very important, and doing it in these sort of environments that get millions of footfall, over a 2-week period, is definitely sort of helping brands get that message across. And we've seen massive each year post-COVID, we've seen a massive increase in these types of executions. And for example, last year the creative solutions team delivered 89 campaigns across the year, and that has carried on into the first part of this year as well. So brands, clients are definitely engaging and talking about the impact that out-of-home can have on their creative and the effectiveness that it can have too.
And normally, sort of when we finish, just talk about some of the lessons you've got for people who are coming through. So let's start off with Andrew. Any lessons you would say for people who are...
Again, it's a great example of advertising consistency across multiple environments. I think moving from online and then including out-of-home, for example, is a very brave move. Be brave. It was clearly effective last year. And then this year you've taken that and taken it a step further. So it's, constantly evolving on what you can do in these spaces, and a fantastic case study to amplify creative and just take that risk, be bold, be brave, contextual, relevance. Blue Monday and the Blueberry Naked Bar was a fantastic link, and you were sampling in the station as well, right?
Yes,
so
we were.
yeah, it's
blueberry hats.
perfect. Yeah, so it's the environments now at home can make any brand relevant in context with the right message, and that's certainly a case with what you guys did with us a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And Jess, what lessons would you give? Or what advice would you give? Lessons is the wrong word. Advice. What advice would you give? Hey, you may give lessons. I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. But particularly people coming into marketing, who are going through a similar sort of trend, experience as you are, need to realign the brand but talk about sort of maybe a slightly different direction.
To be honest, I'm really lucky. So it's a bit easy for me to say I am working on a brand that I truly, sincerely love and that I'm very aligned with. But I would say believing in the brand is the most important thing. It doesn't really matter what brand it is.
Yeah.
It's very important to understand what the brand stands for, not just for you, but for the people you're talking to. Understanding what your audience is going to be looking out for. So we talked about where the audience is and making sure that we capture them where they are, but we don't want to disturb them. We want to accompany them. We want to lift their day, to add something to it rather than pollute it.
Yeah.
So understanding the audience, understanding a bit what they want, what state of mind they might be in, and then from that, with your understanding of your brand, what it stands for you and for them, then bringing that to life, conveying those values, always staying true to them, and conveying those values across all of the touch points so that you can actually talk to them rather than talk at them.
It's great. And on that note, thank you very much, Jess. Thank you very much, Andrew. Really, really great to have you, and thanks very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Not at all.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jess and Andrew, for the wonderful discussion around brand building and creativity today. With so many brands noticing the shift towards online channels and wanted to rebalance their funnel over to brand building, we've just heard a fantastic example of how this can be achieved with great impact. If there's anything you'd like to ask us or hear more about, you can visit the JCDecaux Digital Changemakers Hub online. We hope you enjoyed listening, and wherever you get your podcasts, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.